Peace and Black Power. Peace and Black Power. This is Underground Warrior TV. If this is your first time coming in my channel, please mash up the like, share the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Come in subscribing, sharing, and liking the video. You feel what I'm saying? Listen, hit that notification button at the bottom so you always be that notification bell at the bottom so you always be in the crosshairs every time I drop one of these videos. Black family, what's going on? You ever heard the old saying, let an old dog lay, let old dogs lay, you know, leave things alone before they get out of hand. You feel me? Don't poke the bear. You know, those kind of terminologies when, referring to or making a similitude not to bother certain persons because of their personalities. Yesterday, I'm going through YouTube, checking out some videos, and I come across somebody's heading saying that pan-Africanism is dead. Pan-African is dead. This is very disrespectful because we had many of our ancestors who died in the line of duty as being a Pan-African. See, being a Pan-African is something different because a Pan-African moves. A Pan-African make things move because they really want something for the peoples. The Pan-African doesn't divide the people by light skin, dark skin, or where you was born as long as you represent being an African. You feel what I'm saying? There's no division. You know what I'm saying? But all of a sudden, you get this division where people don't want to be a Pan-African. They don't want to come together. You know, all they can say is that they're not African. But to put something up like that, you're asinine. You don't even know your history. I'm going to take you down a little byline of your history because you don't know history well enough to say Pan-African is dead. You cannot kill the spirit of the revolution. You may be able to kill the Pan-African physically, but the spirit of the Pan-African lives on. We got Pan-Africans right now in South Africa, in Uganda, making noise. Because, there's a global waking up on our planet. And the Pan-African, for what I've been checking out, the Pan-African is getting things done. The Pan-African is the most outspoken individual at this particular time. Only thing you could say is you're not African. That's your only debate. How come you haven't got your reparations, Mr. Indian dude, Mr. Negro Indian? Why? Because you got to prove that you're 25% of Indian descent, which is the Asian people. You feel what I'm saying? True indeed. Africans were already in this country, and the Americans. I don't know why we have to keep going through this. Ivan Van Sertim put that in his book. He backed it up with nothing but data, real live data. Only thing the world can do is debunk his data. You dealing with the science. They debunk the truth. They debunk the truth. This dude had data. So much data to back up how Africans, through maritime, connected to the sea, traveled from the African over into the Americans. We was the Olmec people. You got 16 colossal of heads, and many more have been found. Ranuku Rashidi just passed in 2021, but he went back and checked on Ivan Van Sertim's work and came back with the same analysis and proved that these Olmec heads were African. You can look at these Olmec heads until they African. And when they show one of the Olmec heads without the helmet, because they wore the war helmets like they wore in Kemet, that's when you knew they was black too, because they had the same particular heads that they had in Kemet. The helmets, I mean, when you took one of the helmets off, that dude's head was nappy. They got a colossal of a nappy head black man in Mexico. They said this is an Indian nappy hair. We call it 9-ether hair, curly hair. But get back to what I was saying about this disrespect that Pan-African is dead. You're dead because you already submitted to self-hatred. You are putting out what the white Masons are putting out when they discovered Memphis and Egypt. They came back and named Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to show you how that was put down. Memphis, Tennessee was founded in 1819 by 3 white men, Masons, who visit the Kemetic or the Egyptian tombs, who visit the Egyptian civilization, who went over there and stole the mystery system and came back with the Masonic order. See, you don't know your knowledge, but you run around here talking about Egypt is in America because these white Masons spit this. This is something that the Moors, I bet you, put in your mind because it's coming from the white man. See, I know my knowledge. I'm a scholar because I do my research. Let me tell you where your Egypt came from, Mr. Indian Negro. Memphis was founded in 1819 by 3 white men. One man from Nashville, a judge named John Overton. Go look up John Overton of Nashville. A general named James Winchester. And President Andrew Jackson. The trio named the city after the capital of the ancient city in Egypt. Their exact line of the reasoning is uncertain. It's possible that they thought that the nearby Mississippi River envisioned America's Memphis as a hub culture, just like Egypt. They've been always influenced by our great ancient African monuments and symbols. That's why they came to America and put up the Tekken. You call it the obelisk. It's 555 feet high. You can put the 1 in front of them and get 1555 when the real slave trade time happened. See, that's why you Negroes don't know what happened. You know, John Hawkins bought slaves to America from the Queen. You see what I'm saying? Sir John Hawkins of 1955 had a ship called Good Boat Jesus. Do your research before you come out and say Pan-African is dead. And I'm a Pan-African. And we alive and vibrant, making moves. The president of Uganda is a Pan-African. Yeah. What are you talking about? The president of Uganda who just sat down with our girl Camilla Fake Harris and told her to her face, we don't do the homosexual thing over here, so don't bring that over here. She wants them to accept the motherfucking homosexual law, the homosexual agenda to stop the rise of black people, the African, from being born up on the planet. You feel what I'm saying? They know if they let the LGBTQ off into Africa, that stopped the population growth. That got nothing to do with African custom. If you know anything about African custom and culture, their culture is to procreate. You notice ain't no old folks home in Africa because they got them kids that take care of the elders. That's why they have so many kids. African culture is to procreate, not to stagnate, not to go backwards. So that's why homosexuality is not illegal. It's illegal in African nations because Africans know their culture. So yeah, you got Pan-African pushing back against the homosexual agenda. They told Uganda, well, you can't get no aid. We don't need your aid anyway because the American dollar is about to decline. But y'all don't know y'all stuff. Y'all don't even do no research. But you on YouTube talking about Pan-African is dead. Pan-African is alive. And the spirit of Toussaint Louverture. In the spirit of Toussaint Louverture, the African general, he wasn't no Indian. What did he use to overthrow France? We talking about the Haitian general Toussaint Louverture. You know, we talking about Duddy Boukman, who took over, you know what I'm saying, Haiti and kicked out the white man. Duddy Boukman. You feel what I'm saying? For West Africa. And y'all talking about the slave trade didn't happen. How the hell did Duddy Boukman ends up in Jamaica and been sold to the French, and he helps overthrow France, the first black republic over here in the hemisphere and the Americans. But you said the slave trade didn't happen. Get out of here with your Indian. Man, I'm not even gonna curse. But that's how your Egypt got founded. You know, but they've been using this history. Andrew Jackson was a slave owner. This was a white demon who enslaved black people. You know what I'm saying? A government don't give a fuck about black people. And you motherfuckers are running around here talking about the new Egypt, Memphis, Tennessee, and all that old bullshit. All because Andrew Jackson and two other white men from Nashville. Ain't you something? Talking about Pan-African is dead. In the name of Jean Dessalines, Jacques Jean Dessalines, who fought against the French. Where's he from? You feel what I'm saying? Where's he from? Africa. Overthrew France, Napoleon and the boys. Pan-African. Julius Nyerere, Tanzania's president, was a Pan-African in the spirit of him, you know, until he was assassinated by these people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Julius Nyerere. Yeah. Robert, in the name of Robert Sobukwe, who started the Pan-African Congress in South Africa. And you tell me Pan-African is dead, and we got Tanzania's president right now. He's a Pan-African. What is that brother named Umar Johnson is a Pan-African. He get more views and likes than these dudes. These dudes talking about Pan-African is dead. Ain't Umar Johnson a Pan-African? I believe Umar Johnson is a Pan-African. I'm a Pan-African. There's a lot of Pan-Africans still out here on post. You know? What about Thomas, in the name of Thomas Sankara, who was the president of, was it Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso. Steve Biko. When Robert, the president just died not too long ago, Robert Mugabe. Yeah, Robert Mugabe was a Pan-African. And what did he do? He took that land from the white people and gave it back to the black Africans. Remember, and everybody hated him. The international community put sanctions on Robert Mugabe. He stood up to the West. This is what the pan-African do. But the people that run around talking about they ain't African, they ain't got no fight in them. Talking about pan-African is dead. What are you doing? What are you doing? Everybody that I named, Marcus Garvey was the founder of Universal Negro Improvement, formed in Jamaica in 1914. The father of Pan-African on this side of the road. What is you talking about? They tried to denounce Marcus Garvey last night. Talk about Marcus Garvey was a sellout. Marcus Garvey was sold out by Negroes who wanted to be like the white man like you. Don't talk bad about Marcus Garvey, one of the greatest Pan-Africans who ever lived up on the planet, who made things happen. He had a Negro world newspaper, a shipping company called Black Star, a ship company that went to Jamaica and Brazil and different parts, and he did business with brothers and sisters who had business over there and bought back the goods, import them back to America. That's what the Pan-African did. Pan-African make things rotate. And that's why the white man cut down Malcolm X, because Malcolm X was a Pan-African. That's why Malcolm X got killed. Pan-African is the most dangerous philosophy of all times. That's why the white man got you out there now. Talking about you an Indian. To divide the people, mix the people's brain up with that false information. Listen, I'm going to break this down. This kindergarten level, man. Kindergarten level, we all know this. Black people are the majority people on the planet. It takes a real dark-skinned parent to be able to get these other races of people on the planet. It's easy to look at. Everything that the black people come in contact with sexually. I'm talking about when a black person has sex with a white person or Asian person, majority of the time the baby come out dark skinned. Your Mongoloid Indian got here 16,000 years ago. I'm going to break this down to you, and I'm not going to talk to you no more about this because you ignorant. I'm going with the most powerful genetic on the planet to say what I am. This is what they scared of, this melon. This scientific knowledge. And it's real easy to see. Black people are the majority people on the planet. We have the strongest genes on the planet. So whenever your Mongoloid got here 16,000 years ago, they found the Olmec. The Olmec people were African people already here in this country. We was connected to the sea. We knew how to get on boats. Christopher Columbus didn't know how to navigate. He was a sellout Negro to get him around the world because he didn't know how to navigate a boat. We was the first boat builders, ship builders. You feel what I'm saying? So when your Mongoloid got here 16,000 years ago, the African has already been on the planet before anybody. The first people to our planet was black people. The oldest human fossils was found in East Africa, Homo sapiens, over 200,000 years old. November 24th, 1974, the oldest ancestor specimen, nicknamed Lucy, when they found the little lady, the little bones of the lady. They named her Lucy from Ethiopia. So I don't have to argue with these Indian Negroes. Humankind started in Africa. They had a Japanese dude, man. He did some DNA because he thought that his race was a race that started from his race. He found out after the DNA was over that he had an African parent. I don't care what they call that land over there. They said the land, Africa's named after Afrikaners, and I heard it's got a whole bunch of other names. But I heard it was called Ethiopia at one time. It was called Nubia at one time. But that is the birthplace of man and mankind. We should all agree on that. So whatever name that planet is, that's where we all come from. Everything has an origin in the earth. The origin of all dogs, the wolf is the dog, and everything after the wolf is an offspring of the original. The wolf is the origin of all dogs. You feel what I'm saying? Black people are the origin of all human beings. Everything has an origin. So it's self-explanatory that we was already here in America before the slave trade. The slave trade didn't happen. That was asinine. You got 40 slave dungeons on the coast of Africa. Cape Coast, Ghana is one of the biggest slave dungeons. These dungeons are mass, complex buildings, just like penitentiaries. I've been in penitentiaries. When you look at that particular monument on any coast where they got these slave dungeons, when I saw those, I knew that the slave trade happened out of Africa. I knew the slave trade happened out of Africa. I was hoping when I heard the information that these new Negroes was kicking, it sounded good. But when I went back and did my research and saw those large, complex, big industrial complexes, I knew that those complexes held human beings captive, just like the penitentiary. And so just happened that these big old castles or big old dungeons that house people is built right by the water. Maritime. Man has been on the sea forever. It's a current that the Africans was taking to get them right over into South America, right out of Africa. So the slave trade didn't happen. That's asinine to say that. When it's data, proof positive data, but they got a lot of people influenced talking about pan-African is dead. I think y'all should get y'all some books. Go get y'all some Dr. Henry Clark. Go get some of Dr. Henry Clark's books. Get William Chancellor. Go look up. They got a lot of books, brothers and sisters, that you could go and read and find out the real history. Now, when I bring these brothers and sisters' names up, these brothers is not even living. Dr. Caress Wilson, she wrote the ISIS paper. She's no longer with us. These people are being disrespected because of the hard work they put in to get to the people. A lot of these people didn't die with a lot of money. Sometimes when you fight for the people, people make sure to try to keep you, economic deprived. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of Pan-Africans that are concrete, they find a way to thrive because they make stuff happen. You know what I'm saying? When Huey P. Newton took up the Pan-African movement, Huey P. Newton did stuff in the community. The Black Panthers, the real Black Panthers, who had the breakfast programs in the community, and the lunch programs, and then the government killed them off and adopted their lunch and free lunch and breakfast programs that you get in school today. I remember those days of going to school, getting a free lunch program. I didn't know it started from Pan-Africans. Pan-Africans is organized people that believe all of us are united as one, no matter if we was in Great Britain, we was in Brazil, we was in Haiti, we was in the Americans. As long as we identify with being African, we all one, solid brothers and sisters. We kings and queens. You feel what I'm saying? Get you some books, man. Get you a book by Ranuku Rashidi, Dr. Asa Hilliard, Sheikh Anta Diop, Sheikh Anta Diop. You need to get you some books, man. Ivan Van Sertim. And my favorite, Dr. Yusuf bin Yakahana or Yakahana. You need to get you these. When I mention these brothers and sisters, they work diligently. They went to Africa. They went to Great Britain. They had to go all the way around the world to study the African, who we were and who stole all our artifacts and why things are mixed up to the day. They got their knowledge from us. Pan-African is never dead. The spirit of Pan-African still live on. You feel me? South Africa also got that one leader that be speaking. He's a Pan-African. He wear the red over there with the red tam. He always speaking out against the France and all the people that's in South Africa don't need to be there. Julius Malema. Julius Malema is a Pan-African. How the fuck can this dude say Pan-African is dead? The biggest Pan-African leader over in this country is Umar Johnson. He got a black school down there, Independent Black Money. Independent Black Money built the school, and y'all hating on him because you a counter-revolutionary. That's why you an Indian. Rain dance to the truth, I just spit. Rain dance to the truth, I just spit. Pan-African always gonna live in the spirit of the ancestors. I'll be damned if I walk over what my ancestors laid for us. Marcus Garvey laid the groundwork. A lot of people died being Pan-Africanists. They died on their post being Pan-Africanists. I dare you. Talk about Pan-African is dead. You dead, nigga. You running from yourself. You running from Africa. I just showed you how you like Memphis, Tennessee, and you call that Egypt, and they in Tennessee killing niggas in Tennessee. They killing black people in Tennessee. Have you read the news lately? I can tell your knowledge was shallow. You had shallow knowledge when you was spitting about Marcus Garvey. You was all wrong about Marcus Garvey. That said, Marcus Garvey he was rejected by Jamaica. He was imported back to Jamaica because he's making so much noise over here in the United States. Hey, this is Black Power Hour. Y'all mash up those likes, share this video, and y'all let this Negro know Pan-African is never dead. Fight the power, always in the spirit of the ancestors. This Black Power. And y'all mash up them likes, share this video, subscribe to the channel. This is Black Power.